What up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. And a brand new video series. It's been a while since I've done a video series. I ain't gonna lie, with everyone talking about transferred summer targets, no one, and I would even go ahead and be brave enough to include the great Robbie Lyle in this as well. No one looks at transfer targets for as long or as much as I do. I obsess about it. I go on lunch breaks and I think, right, who are Arsenal linked to now? So I thought to myself, hold on, why not just do some sort of video series or show about transfer targets? Well, I like to think, you know, for all of my moaning and complaining and bitching and, hold on, I want to burp, you can see me suppressing it, excuse me, for all of my bitching and moaning, and talking about how I wish that, you know, we went for Kante instead of Janet Xhaka and Koulibaly instead of Mustafi. Why don't I actually show that I actually do know what's best? So let's do a Chig knows best, shall we? So this particular video series is going to be about Chig knows best. It's going to be about transfer targets. I'm going to pick 5 selections of transfer targets, and then I'm going to give my opinion about what the best one is and the reasons why and how it will complement Arsenal. I'm going to take into consider all sorts of things: price, how realistic would it be to get that player, how that player will complement us. I'm going to include all those things, and I'm going to give you my opinion. You know why? Because Chig knows best. And in this particular case, Chig knows left backs. So here are my 5 options, 5 choices of good left back options that I'd pick for Arsenal Football Club to sign this summer. So, Tagliafico, the 26-year-old Argentine international who completed a move to Ajax. Man, I felt sorry for Ajax. Who completed a move to Ajax last January for 4 million. Oh my gosh. We could have completed this deal for 4 million. And he's done well. Never mind the fact he's a late bloomer. I understand he's 26. Let's be real, by the time we get into the nitty and gritty of next season, he'll be 27. But I actually don't mind that. I actually like the fact that we're getting a guy who could be quite experienced, who is very good at making interceptions. He makes about 2.4 interceptions per game, delivers 1.1 key pass per game, very good at crosses, not bad at set pieces either. Defensively very good, very, very capable left back. And if you're keeping an eye on Ajax, and let's be real, if you're an Arsenal fan, you have a soft spot for Ajax, not least for the fact that they are currently whooping Spurs' arse 1-0 as I record this. But yeah, in terms of targets, it's an interesting one. It presents somebody an opportunity to buy a capable, experienced, albeit a late bloomer of a left back who is going to cause problems. It is defensively very good, can cause problems getting up and down. And I think one of the things that all our Arsenal fans can agree on is you almost wish you can kind of gel the 2 defenders of Kolasinac and Monreal. You know, someone who can be defensively very good but still cause problems going forward. And I think this guy is very, very capable of that. Arsenal at the moment are linked with him currently. Said to be 17 million. I can see him going for 20 million plus. And it does represent an option, and a good option at that. Angelino, by the way, I can read, I promise, but let's be real. When it comes to names, I butcher them. So let's just pretend that they're called Angelino. PSV Eindhoven left back, 22 years old. and actually used to play for Man City a couple of years ago. So Man City fans who I doubt they'll watch the transfer window thing for Arsenal, but you never know, they may do, will be very familiar with him. And it is someone who I believe that would be interested in coming back to the Premier League. Someone who has been looking for a way back to the Premier League, but has recently established himself in the PSV Eindhoven team, currently with 9 assists in the team. At the moment, Liverpool are actually the ones linked with him. Arsenal aren't currently linked with him. But it is someone who would be relatively cheap, said to be in the region of 10 to 15 million. Someone who's said to have a lot of potential, and I bet Man City wouldn't have minded holding on to him, maybe as a backup for Mendy. But yeah, Angelino represents a very real possible option and someone that we could snap up. Alex Telles from Porto is my third option. Someone who is very, very good. Technically the best out of all my options today in terms of the fact that he's at the peak of his powers, in my opinion, and is very, 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 very good. Actually, it's between him and Tagliafico. Told you, I butchered names for fun. But yeah, Alex Telles, I think, is an excellent player. You could tell by the caliber of people that are interested in him. Currently being chased by Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and Chelsea, who we forget this, but Chelsea and Liverpool will both be after left backs as well this summer. So there's going to be a lot of people after a lot of different options. Excellent, very, very good attacking left back. So I guess that is the downside, particularly if we opt, as I suspect, to keep Kolasinac. We'll have 2 very, very attacking left backs. And just to give you an idea, I talk about Tagliafico, the name I keep butchering, Nicholas, I'm going to keep calling him. His key passes were 1.1 key passes per game. Well, with Alex Telles, his key passes are 2.6 per game. We're talking about someone that already has 7 assists this season. Pretty good penalty taker, very, very good set piece taker. So someone that is going to cause a lot of problems. He's 26 years old. He's a Brazilian. If you're a fan of the Turkish league, hi Mems if you're listening, he'll be very, very familiar with Alex Telles, a very good player. I expect him to be expensive though. They're already talking about 30 million and up for Alex Telles, but very, very good player, very, very capable left back. Ferland Mendy is my next choice, my 4th option in my left back list. Excellent little player. Now, in terms of key passes and assists, he's not as prolific as the other guys. Currently plays for Lyon, is 23 years old, French international. Excellent little player. Let me tell you, this guy, I think his ceiling could be high. Kind of reminds me of a left back version of Sagna. A lot of pace, good sense about him, and I think the type of pace that he's got pace, but it's not because he always likes attacking. Actually, it's quite the contrary. He's an excellent recoverer of the ball. Someone who, even if he finds himself out of position, is able to recover said position. And we at Arsenal love our quick players, particularly quick defenders, and he represents that. He is being watched by a lot of people though, and not to mention he's a Lyon player. Getting a Lyon player across the line is difficult even when they want to sell them. Never mind the fact that he's also currently being tracked by Barcelona and Zidane from Real Madrid. So the likelihood of us getting him is slim to none. Currently being quoted for 25 million. I think it will be at least 35 million before they let him go. But I tell you, in terms of technical player abilities, and in theory, not taking anything else into account, if I just could get a player through the line, this would be it. I love this player. Last, but certainly not least, my final pick, Alex Grimindio, left back for Benfica, 23 years old, and a product of the Barcelona side that we often see who leave Barcelona. Not necessarily because they're not good enough, just because there's too much competition that's in front of them. And believe me when I say this kid is certainly good enough. Funny enough, in my research, it had the nerve to say that only Juventus were currently looking at him. Trust me when I say this, every side, every decent European side has had a close look at Alex Grimindio. Very, very, very good player. In a lot of ways, he's made for the Premier League as well. He's not afraid of the tackle. Keeps himself very fit. He's only missed one game this season, believe it or not, due to injury. Very feisty little player, but also has a lot of technical ability. I know this is going to be a real cliche thing to say. He kind of feels like an Arsenal player and doesn't at the same time. We're not used to feisty players, but we're starting to get them through. And I think if Emre is starting to produce hard-working, feisty workhorses, I think this guy fits the bill. Excellent little player, and I think honestly he's going to grow up to be a class player. But like I said, as soon as Benfica show even a chink in their armour that they're going to sell him, they're going to have a lot of clubs out for this guy. So we need to be decisive and quick. So those are my 5 options. Now, you probably sat there thinking, hold on, you missed one clearly. There's a reason I've not mentioned Kieran Tierney from Celtic. I know he's a good player. Very, very good player, and I expect him to make it. I actually saw a story this morning that he's going to have a double hernia in the summer. And I personally, because Chig knows best, was to see how he reacts to that. Is he still going to be the same player? Is he still going to have that acceleration? Because hernias don't necessarily affect pace, but they affect the way somebody sets off. So I just want to see how he reacts to that. And in my opinion, I think we need to replace both left backs. So if it was me, I would sell one of our left backs in the summer, bring in a new left back, and then monitor Kieran Tierney and see how that comes along. Now, out of the 5 choices that I picked, for me, I would love to see the final 2, Mendy and Grimindio, come on board. I think the likelihood of those 2 coming on board would be unlikely. I don't think Angelino, I think he's good. I don't think he's going to be what we need him to be. If it was me and it was up to me, I'd bring in Fico in. Excellent player. And I think just a measured player. 26 years old, yes, but I actually think he's a good. You know, ultimately, who cares how old someone is as long as they're good enough and can provide the balance that we need it to be as a left back. Not someone who's overly attacking, but someone who is measured, controlled, can cross, which this kid can, and is not a crazy price. Even if we get him for 20 million, I think that's 20 million worth it. So for me, that would be my choice, because Chig knows best. You guys let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments below. Who would be your choice of left back out of the 5 that I picked? Even if I've not thought of one in that 5, leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. I'm so stealing that from Lee because I really appreciate it. It does get the video noticed. Tell me if you like this video series. I'll be back tomorrow where I'm going to continue my video series. And you know that Chig knows defenders, right? You know that Chig knows centre backs. So what are my choices for centre backs? I'm going to let you guys know tomorrow. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Take care.